Thank you so much, Madam Chair, and a lot of respect for you all for the time that you put in and the service that you put into the city. It's now 9:19, so thank you all so much. I appreciate the ability to provide comment on this agenda item. I'm going to provide an overview of my interaction with this proponent and the BPDA, and then transition to what I've seen in terms of community sentiment, and hope to represent that fully and adequately. After submitting their proposal to the BPDA and conducting some meetings in Charlestown, on October 5th of 2022, so this is last year, the proponent submitted a request to waive the typical development review process conducted and controlled by the BPDA. My office heard from members of the community that they wanted to offer an opportunity to review the project in its entirety, and requested to engage in a comprehensive development review process for the project as defined by Article 80 of the Zoning Code. In response, I wrote a letter to Chief Jameson on October the 11th, advocating that their request to waive development review be withdrawn. After this correspondence, the proponent ultimately decided to adhere to our request and withdraw their waiver on October 21st. Fast forward to this fall, it was almost like Groundhog Day. I found out that they were not going to go through within an IUG, which is normal of the Article 80 process. And so on November 10th, I wrote another letter addressed to Chief Jameson, or excuse me, I think it was November 14th, formally requesting that the community have the opportunity to engage in a full development review process, meaning to have a creation of an impact advisory group. I stated that the oversight of an IAG reflective of all impacted populations, including those who are formerly homeless, should be selected to help define a successful outcome on the parcel. And ultimately, those demands were denied. I hope you can appreciate and respect the fact that I'm here to represent my constituents. I say it often, but I'll repeat it because I know that there are a lot of Charlestown folks on the call, but Charlestown has its own voice, and it's my job to be their microphone. And so I'm just going to plainly state the facts and amplify what I've heard from the neighborhood. I've received communication from both residents that support and oppose the proposal. There have been more correspondence of opposition than support. Beyond that, what I've mostly heard from constituents is that they feel like this process is broken. There are many individuals from Charlestown who feel like this is a done deal. They are pessimistic that no matter what is said here tonight by me or anyone else, this board will approve this proposal because they've seen the aforementioned appeals denied or go unanswered. There are many in Charlestown who are frustrated that regardless of what they've said or done, this board will move the proposal forward. They simply don't trust this agency, and they don't trust the proponent to execute a successful program. I have seen this board approve just about everything that has come before it, and fully acknowledging that context, I do encourage you to review this project tonight on its merits, which I know this body will do given your professional expertise, but also based on the community sentiment that I've just outlined for you. Regardless, whatever you decide to do, whatever vote you take, after you seriously considered everything that's been described this evening, if at the end of it all, if it's a yes, there needs to be some serious work done on behalf of the proponent to build any resemblance of trust if they seek to operate in this 1 square mile. I don't believe that it should just end here, especially given how the process is played out. I want to see some sort of accountability mechanism codified through an agreement between this agency and the proponent that promotes additional and mandated dialogue with the community. If this proponent wants to be a good neighbor, they can't just close the door after they've gotten what they've wanted. It could be something to the effect of an independent community oversight committee or a board made up of various stakeholders in Charlestown. I'm thinking Charlestown residents, the police, healthcare professionals, members of the recovery services community, the Charlestown recovery community. There's veteran housing, we should have veterans on there, elected officials or representatives or not. Whatever it is, it needs to have an adequate enforcement levers that can hold the proponent to task if there are issues that arise in the future. So I don't usually do this, I usually talk, I don't ask questions, but all of that is to say that I'd like to make a direct demand to the proponent tonight through the BPDA that if this board takes stock of what's in front of them and decides to move forward, that there is a commitment to true accountability to the Charlestown community by answering to an independent board or committee. And I would like this commitment tonight, so I'm going to ask the proponent through the board to provide an answer.
Thank you very much for your comment, Councilor Coletta. As I think we've demonstrated over our 50+ years of work, we've been committed to the communities that we work in, and I think our track record in Boston demonstrates our commitment and speaks to our commitment to those communities and to those neighborhoods. So we certainly are look forward to working in the best way that makes sense to fulfill our obligations with the community, and that's you can look at our developments in the West End, for example, where we've been strong neighborhood partners there. In every community that we've worked in with Boston, we've demonstrated that, and we're long-term owners, and we're committed to seeing the success of the neighborhoods that we work in.
Okay, and I don't know, looking at the BPDA, how to codify this. It's going to have to be in a memorandum or something, but I would like written confirmation that the proponent does plan to adhere to an independent community oversight board to just continue the conversation. I think that a lot has happened this year for this board just to approve and not consider the ramifications of what it's been like for the Charlestown community. They've demanded to be included, and so I think we just need reassurances that they will have the power to hold this proponent accountable and keep that open dialogue going. I don't know, folks, if there's an answer for that or...
Sure, Councillor. Thank you very much for that point. That's definitely something that we're able to work with the proponent on finding a way to memorialize and make happen. Okay,
I look forward to doing that in partnership with my other elected officials, the state delegation. If this board decides to go forward, if not, that's a totally separate thing. But I do really believe that there's going to have to be some healing after all of this. This idea definitely isn't a silver bullet, but given the bureaucratic system that I find myself in, with the levers I've been given, this is what I believe will build trust in the community, both on behalf of the agency and the proponent. So I feel like I've made myself clear on the topic. The only thing I can say is that for everybody at the BPDA, that the Article 80 process is broken and it needs some serious reform. And I know that there is a review process happening right now, and those on the call listening in Charlestown, I do hope that they would put their energies into that and make their voices heard. Thank you so much again for this opportunity to comment, and I appreciate all of you, and I look forward to the follow-up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.